In this lesson, we'll cover keyboard shortcuts. A lot of the commands inside of Revit actually have keyboard shortcuts assigned. That could be numbers, letters, or the use of the control key or shift key or a function key. To see if a command has a shortcut assigned, just hover your mouse over it. For example, let's click the Structure tab and then hover your mouse over the Beam command. You can see a tooltip appear, and the name of the command is Structural Framing Beam, and in parentheses is BM. BM is the shortcut to launch this Beam command. But again, not every tool or command has a shortcut. For example, move your mouse over Truss and pause. You can see this is structural trusses, but there is no shortcut in parentheses. So how do we go about adding a shortcut for truss? Or can I add others? Or can I change some of the existing ones? Well, to do all of this, we first need to go to the large R in the upper left. Go ahead and click it. Then click Options on the flyout. The Options window will appear. Now, this is where we usually set all of our options for everything that's inside of Revit. This includes our shortcut keys. On the left, click User Interface. On the right, to the right of Keyboard Shortcuts, click Customize. The window that opens will show you all of the commands and if there's a shortcut assigned. Change the filter by clicking the drop-down, and you can see you can look at everything that is defined, isn't defined, all reserved, meaning things that can't change, or you can look at commands by tab. If you click All Reserved, these are the commands that are set that you cannot modify the shortcuts. Most of these use the Control key, although some use the Alt key and the function keys. Change the filter again, and let's click the Structure tab in this example. So now we're looking at all the commands on the Structure tab. Let's scroll down till we find the Truss command. Once you find trusses, go ahead and select it. As I can see, there's no shortcut assigned. Now at the very bottom, it's asking you to press new keys to define the truss command. So let's say I want to define the truss command as TR. So I'm just going to type in TR. Now to assign it, click the Assign button. Now if you happen to use a shortcut key that is already defined, in this case TR is already defined for trim, Revit will allow it, but just make a note of it. Now what happens when you go to use it, Revit will allow you to cycle through all of the commands that use this shortcut. If you don't want to do that, just click Cancel and change it to a new key sequence like TT. But to show this, how the actual cycling works, we're going to leave it set to TR. So just click OK on the duplicate shortcut window. TR is now assigned. Click OK and OK again. Now in the lower left portion of your Revit window is basically the command line. This is where Revit tells you what it's doing or what you need to do next. Go ahead and type TR, and you can see on the very bottom right now it says shortcut for trim, but type TR, hit the Enter key. Let's key in the shortcut TR. So just type TR, and after you type TR, hit your up and down arrow, or one or the other. You can actually see down in the lower left, it cycles through trim and then the truss. Now when you find the one you want, if it was 2 or 3 or 4, cycle through till you see the one you want. When it highlights, hit the Enter key. That will then start that actual command, in this case truss. And then I can start using the truss command. To end the truss command or any command you're currently in, you can hit the Escape key or click Modify in the upper left. Now, if you want to remove the shortcut key, we basically will just reverse what we just did. Let's go to the large R in the upper left, click Options, go to the User Interface option on the left, click Customize on the right to the right of Keyboard Shortcuts, change the filter to the Structure tab, scroll down to Structural Trusses, select it, click on TR, then click Remove. That removes the shortcut key from trusses. Click OK and OK again, and now you've removed the shortcut key from truss. So in this lesson, we looked at shortcut keys. We looked at the different commands from the ribbon that have shortcut keys and the ones that don't. We also looked at how do we create these keyboard shortcuts. We looked at keyboard shortcuts that can't be changed, and we looked at all the other shortcuts that are currently defined. We then defined a keyboard shortcut for truss, and we used the command or sequence of letters that are already used. Therefore, Revit actually cycles through the commands that share that keyboard shortcut, and we can cycle through by hitting the up and down arrow after we type in the actual shortcut keys. When it displays the command we want, we hit the Enter key and it starts that command. And lastly, we talked about removing the shortcut key. And basically, you go to the options and then you're customizing the shortcut keys, and we simply remove the shortcut from that command.